doing some enjoyable maintenance here on the Mustang. It's time for spark plugs. So just pulling off the coil-on plugs. Before I did this, I sprayed out some air in there just because there's a little pocket. You don't want dust and all that crap falling into your spark plug galley when you pull them out. So we'll get these coil-on plugs disconnected and then take it from there. You hear a nice little pop sound when you take it out. Yep. That means they were sealed. And now you can see that the coil-on plug is out. Tip looks fine. Usually put a little dielectric grease right around the bottom of it. And down there into the spark plug galley, there's a little bit of dust, so I'm going to get the shop vac and blow that out one more time and then pull those plugs out. Alright, let's get this first one out. Now when I did this 7 years ago, back in 2013, I put anti-seize on the threads. So let's hope that it's easy enough to get out. Okay, got it. Good. Getting these plugs out. Just love doing this. Alright, taking out our first plug. Let's see what it looks like. Not the worst that I've seen on them. And here are the new spark plugs. And there's your comparison. I'm going to put a little anti-seize on the thread, so this way when I pull them out the next time, they come off pretty much just as easily as they did this time. And if you're wondering why did I take so long to change my spark plugs, well, even though it's been 7 years, I really haven't put that many miles in this car in that time. So it's just, now it's time. And we're going in with our first spark plug. Going right down in there. Let's just start by hand threading it, making sure that you're not cross-threading these, very important. Plugs always go with a ratchet and do this by hand because you don't want to ever cross-thread these or damage them. So here, we'll get these torqued down to spec. Right now it's just hand tight. We'll continue our way through it. Driver's side, hand threading in nicely. And then we'll get our passenger side done. Spark plug hole, you can see the little bit of residual dirt and crap that's just down there. That's why we're being surgically precise as we put the spark plug down in the hole, not to be smacking it around and dragging all that crap down into your cylinder. So just nice and slow and easy. And here we go. Just nice and steady money. And that's it. Nice and easy. And here we are just tightening them up. Stock plugs have a 25 foot-pound torque rating. My digitally calibrated hand is getting us perfectly to 25 foot-pounds. Of course, I'm being slightly sarcastic, but I know I'm in the zone. Another thing I like to do is always put stuff back on looking better than it was. So I'm going to clean up this coil-on plug and then put a little bit of dielectric grease here inside the tip. Not necessarily on the spring element, but just on the rubber tip, because that prevents moisture and any corrosion down in the spark plug area. A little bit of brake clean on a rag, and we're just going to clean these off. Again, you want to have a nice running car, you got to take care of it. You'll also notice how I left them organized in the same fashion that I removed them, so this way you're putting them back where they were. Not that they're specific to each cylinder, but I just like to always keep things kind of the way that they were. Get the dielectric grease in there, prevent any moisture and corrosion. Voila. Coil packs going back on. And a final torque check by hand. Because you don't want to snap one of these little studs off into your head. Ask me how I know. Oil change is due sometime within the next few months. You can see that the oil is actually still pretty translucent and pretty clean. So that's a good sign. It's not black and tar and gummed up. So the old Mustang is doing good. Health check approved. All right, let's see how good we did. Let's crank her up. Big test. Sounds healthy. Smells good too. Call that a mission accomplished. Love that. Just simple maintenance, taking care of your car, taking care of your stuff. What it's all about. Put in that little bit of extra effort, and your stuff lasts a while. This car's an 07. It's what, 13 years old. I keep it clean, do regular maintenance on it, enjoy the hell out of it. That's what you got to do. also up under the car because I noticed the bottom of my rear diff was getting a little wet looking, which, hell, this car is 13 years old. It's not supposed to start leaking on me. So I popped off the plug here on the rear, and I'm just checking the old finger gauge. And it looks like we still have plenty of good fluid in there.